If you're watching this video, stop everything. This is not a coincidence. It's a sign that something you've waited for your whole life is about to happen. There's a feeling that might be following you. The sense that you don't fully belong in this world, a void that nothing seems to fill. You've tried everything, work, distractions, relationships, but the emptiness is still there. What if I told you that this emptiness isn't a flaw? It's a calling. You've been called. Your soul carries a rare energetic signature, a dormant code that the ancients called the mark of Thoth the Atlantean. That's why this message found you, while millions of other people kept scrolling. You were chosen to remember. In the next few minutes, I'm not going to give you theories. I'm going to hand you the keys to your own activation. I'll show you exactly why your life seems to have stalled, and how this is actually the final step before your greatest transformation. What you're about to learn is the secret that initiates have kept for millennia. Stay with me until the end, because the full activation only happens in the final step. Skipping any part of this process is risking staying asleep forever. The journey to reclaim your power starts now. If you felt the calling, if something inside you recognized this truth, anchor your intention right now. Comment below, "I am ready to remember." If you do not make yourself equal to God, you cannot understand God, for like is understood only by like. Step out of all that is body, grow to an immeasurable greatness, free yourself from all time, become eternity. Then you will understand God. You were called because your soul carries the vibrational signature of a guardian of wisdom. But being called is only the first step. The second is surviving the first test of activation, a process most people mistake for abandonment by the universe. The silence of the sacred void. Here we demystify the void, those periods of silence, delay, and apparent stagnation in your life. When prayers seem unheard and the universe seems to have forgotten you. Instead of a sign of failure, this is an Atlantean technology of manifestation. It's the moment when the seed has been planted and now needs the darkness and silence of the soil to germinate. Trying to rush this process is like digging up the seed every hour to check if it's growing, which only ensures it will never bloom. The Hermetic principle of gender teaches that everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Manifestation requires a gestation period, feminine, before expression, masculine. This silence is the womb of creation, the phase of energetic calibration where the universe is rearranging circumstances to deliver something much greater than your original request. It's a sacred time of alignment, where the pieces of the cosmic puzzle are being moved into places your limited mind cannot yet see. Thoth describes this state as the space-time where consciousness shapes reality before it becomes matter. He states, "For know that in space-time, consciousness is all. What you perceive as nothing happening is actually the quantum field in its most active state, vibrating with infinite potential. It is the moment when your consciousness, in silence and faith, is giving the clearest instructions for matter to organize according to your deepest will. The reward here is the reinterpretation of your hardest moments as sacred and intentional preparation. Every closed door was not rejection, but divine redirection. Every delay was not punishment, but protection, keeping you from receiving a lesser version of your dream before the greater version was ready. The void is the filter that purifies your desire. ensuring that what comes to you will be perfectly aligned with your soul. So if you are in this silence now, don't despair. Take a deep breath and recognize the holiness of this moment. You have not been abandoned, you've been placed on the altar of creation. The universe is not ignoring you, it's honoring you with the most crucial phase of manifestation. You are being prepared to receive something so grand that your entire world needs to be rearranged first. So there is room for the miracle that is on its way. This void is not passive, it is building up immense potential energy, obeying the law of generation. All that energy is now concentrated at a single point in time and space, a moment that the Atlantean priests both feared and revered. They called it the collapse point, and you are standing on it right now. The collapse point, the event horizon of consciousness. This part is pure spiritual adrenaline. The collapse point is the event horizon of consciousness, the point of no return. Imagine a dam holding back water for years. The pressure builds quietly until a single extra drop causes a crack, and the entire structure gives way, releasing overwhelming force. Your intentions, meditations, and acts of faith have been the drops that filled that dam. Now, the pressure has reached its limit, and the structure of your old reality is about to collapse. All your past intentions and energies have converged on this moment, creating a spiritual critical mass. This echoes the Hermetic principle of cause and effect, where every thought and action is a cause that generates a corresponding and inevitable effect. You can't go back. The choices that brought you here have sealed your fate. Change is no longer a question of if, but of now. The old reality is disintegrating to make way for the new. In the tablets, Thoth warns about this moment. When vibration is raised, all that cannot vibrate with it must shatter and fall. That's why you may feel instability in your life. Relationships, jobs, and situations that no longer match your new frequency are becoming unsustainable. They are not ending because you failed, but because they cannot survive at the vibrational altitude to which you are ascending. Collapse is not the end, it's purification. The reward is the feeling of power and urgency, the realization that change is no longer a possibility, but an imminent certainty. The universe is no longer testing you, it is responding to your new energetic signature. You are no longer asking for a new reality. You have become the frequency of that new reality, and now the cosmos is rearranging itself around you to mirror who you've become. It is a force as certain as gravity. Feel this pressure in your life not as a burden, but as the force of an impending birth. The universe is in labor to give birth to your new life. The tension you feel is the contraction that precedes expansion. You are in the final corridor, the point where the invisible becomes visible, where energy finally crystallizes into matter. What was once a distant dream is now knocking at your door, ready to become your lived experience. Collapse is inevitable. The new reality is crystallizing. But it is exactly here, one step away from victory, that 99% of souls fail. They fall into the most subtle and powerful trap in the universe, a final test known as the Guardian of Doubt. Let's expose the paradox of manifestation. The need for proof cancels out the faith required for manifestation to occur. The Guardian of Doubt is the force that tests the initiate's surrender. It's the subtle voice in your head that whispers, "Is this real? What if nothing happens?" Show me a sign, any sign, so I can believe. But the moment you demand proof, you declare to the universe that you don't trust the process, collapsing infinite potential back into your current, limited reality. The search for signs, the checking of emails, the anxiety to see the result. All of this feeds the Guardian. It's like a general who, at the final moment of battle, abandons his post to ask the soldiers if they think victory is certain. That hesitation breaks the momentum and sows defeat. The key to defeating the Guardian, according to Thoth's teachings, is not to fight doubt, but to apply the technology of active surrender. This aligns perfectly with the alchemical paradox of solver et coagula, which means dissolve and coagulate. First, you must solve your attachment to the outcome, your control, your need to know how and when. You surrender the process to the higher intelligence of the universe, trusting that it knows the fastest and most efficient way. It's an act of courage, a conscious and powerful release of the need for control, trusting in the intelligence that orchestrates everything. Only then, after that complete dissolution of ego and control, can the universe coagulate, your desire into physical form. Surrender is not weakness. It is the highest degree of power. It is recognizing that your finite mind cannot orchestrate the infinite variables that the manifestation of a great dream requires. You stop trying to be the manager of the universe and step into your true role as the visionary who holds the frequency of the final outcome. Think of an archer. He pulls the string, aims with total focus, but in the moment of the shot, he must release the arrow. If he refuses to let go for fear of missing the target, the arrow will never reach its destination. Surrender is the act of releasing the arrow, trusting that your aim was true, and that the physics of the universe will do the rest. Your faith is the aim, your desire is the arrow, and surrender is the act that sets it all in motion. By surrendering control, you don't lose power. You activate a fundamental principle of physics and magic that the Atlanteans mastered, a secret that connects you permanently to your desire, no matter the distance. They called it soul entanglement. Quantum entanglement, the unbreakable connection to your destiny. Here we dive deeper into the concept of entanglement, translating it as the thread of remembrance. The revelation is that desire and the soul are not two separate things that need to meet. They are already intrinsically connected, like two particles that once joined respond to each other instantly, no matter the distance. The sense of separation you feel between you and your dream is the greatest illusion keeping you stuck. You're not trying to reach something, you're simply remembering something that's already yours. The Hermetic principle of correspondence, as above, so below, guarantees this. Your desire, which clearly exists in the mental and spiritual plane, above, already has a perfect counterpart waiting to manifest in the physical plane, below. They are reflections of each other. The only thing preventing the manifestation is your belief in separation, the idea that your dream is out there and you are here, and that you need to struggle to bring them together. Thoth teaches that the soul and its destined expression are two ends of the same thread of light. When you strive, worry, and feel needy, you are pulling on that thread too hard, creating tension and resistance. That tension is what creates the sense of distance and difficulty. The universe, sensing that tension, responds by keeping the desire away, because your frequency is that of I don't have, of it's far away. It's an impersonal law, like a mirror that reflects exactly the image you project. The task is no longer to attract, but to allow. The paradigm shift is monumental, to stop chasing your dreams and start vibrating in resonance with them. This means feeling right now the emotion you would feel if your desire were already fulfilled. By doing this, you relax the tension on the thread of remembrance. The thread stops being stretched and starts to vibrate harmoniously, and what is already yours in the invisible plane begins to be effortlessly drawn into your visible reality. Think of two perfectly tuned tuning forks. If you strike one, the other, even at a distance, will start to vibrate on its own. It doesn't need to try to vibrate. Resonance is a natural law. You are one tuning fork, and your desire is the other. Your only task is to find your correct note, the frequency of your already fulfilled desire. By doing this, you don't attract your desire, you activate it. You awaken it from its potential state into its manifested form. Your destiny is already entangled with you, but for it to manifest physically, you need to tune your biological receiver. The Atlanteans knew that reality doesn't respond to your thoughts, but to the frequency emitted by your body, and that frequency is controlled by a specific key. This part is practical and scientific. We go beyond philosophy and into the physics of creation. We'll present Hertz measurements of emotions, showing that feelings like love and gratitude vibrate at high and expansive frequencies, like 528 Hertz, while fear and shame vibrate at low and contractive frequencies, like 100 Hertz. This is not a metaphor. Your body is a liquid crystal temple, a biological antenna that transmits and receives frequencies at all times. Every emotion you feel changes the electromagnetic signature you emit. The Hermetic principle of vibration states, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. The universe doesn't understand your words or thoughts if they're not charged with emotion. Emotion is the universal language, the force that transforms a thought into a real electromagnetic signal. Thoth took this further, teaching that consciousness can deliberately alter its own vibration to change reality. He didn't see this as magic, but as the application of a universal law. He instructed, seek first to change your vibration, and you will effortlessly change your world. This means your primary task is not to manipulate the external world, but to manage your internal state. Gratitude stops being an act of good manners and becomes a tool for engineering reality. By feeling gratitude for what you don't yet see physically, you are tuning your biological transmitter to the exact frequency of the reality where that thing already exists. You become a radio tower broadcasting the signal of your desired reality. The universe, like a giant receiver, picks up that signal and begins to organize matter to match that broadcast. You are not creating something from nothing. You are simply choosing a reality from an infinite field of possibilities and drawing it into your experience through vibrational resonance. That's why feeling is the secret. The human body, with its nervous system and the electromagnetic field generated by the heart, is the most advanced tuning instrument that exists. Coherence between the heart and brain, a state of alignment that can be scientifically measured, creates a powerful magnetic field that influences the reality around you. The Atlanteans knew this and used sound, geometry, and focused emotion to create states of coherence and manifest what they desired. By tuning your frequency, you initiate a purification process. and that purification may seem frightening. Your life may begin to fall apart. Relationships may end. Jobs may dissolve. Don't be afraid. This is not punishment. It is proof that the next phase has begun. Organized chaos. Organized chaos, the necessary demolition for reconstruction. Let's reframe the chaos that may be happening in your life. Instead of seeing it as a sign that everything is going wrong, understand it as a controlled demolition. Imagine that you live in a small cabin, but your true desire is to live in a mansion. You can't build the new structure on top of the old one. First, the cabin has to be demolished to clear the land and prepare the foundation. The chaos you feel is exactly that. The sound of your old reality being carefully dismantled to make room for the new. Every relationship that ends, every door that closes, every plan that falls apart is not a punishment. It's the universe's demolition crew working in your favor, removing everything that wouldn't fit in your new, expansive life. It's a loud and frightening process, but absolutely necessary. This process is the intelligence of the universe in action, forcefully removing everything that no longer matches your new frequency. In the ancient science of alchemy, this is the famous stage of nigredo, the Black Death or putrefaction. It's the darkest moment, where the raw material, which is your old self and your old life, must be completely broken down and dissolved into its primary elements. Only after that total dissolution can the gold of the new reality be created. It's a process the logical mind fears because it clings to what is familiar, even if it's limiting. But the soul longs for this purification because it knows it is the only path to true freedom. The discomfort you feel is proof that the deepest transformation is underway. And here we arrive at the secret of Thoth's activation, the Atlantean. It is mastery over this process. Thoth, as the master alchemist, teaches that true power is not in avoiding chaos, but in understanding it as the divine tool of purification. Activation is not a magical external event that happens to you. It is the awakening of your ability to remain conscious and calm in the center of the storm. It is your ability to know, on a deep level, that you are in the process of transforming the heavy and dense lead of your old life into the radiant gold of your true destiny. You stop resisting and start cooperating with the demolition, understanding that every falling piece is a release. You become an active partner in your own recreation, no longer a victim of circumstance. With this new awareness, you stop being the victim of chaos and become the alchemist who commands it. You learn to watch the structures of your life falling not with fear, but with calm anticipation. You know that each loss is actually creating an empty space that the universe, by law, is obligated to fill with something of matching vibration to your new and elevated frequency. You begin to trust the process, even when your logical mind panics and cries out for safety. You become the calm eye of the hurricane, the still point of silence amidst all the movement. It is from this center of peace that you command the forces of creation, because the universe doesn't respond to your fear, but to your unwavering trust in the final outcome. This is the great revelation. The activation of Thoth is your graduation from a pawn in the game of life to a conscious player who finally understands the rules. You realize that destruction always precedes greater creation. You stop fighting the waves and learn to surf them, using their power to propel you forward. Chaos stops being your enemy and becomes your most powerful servant. It is the agent carrying out the demolition that you, on a soul level, ordered the moment you decided you deserved more. Chaos clears the land. You now understand its purpose. But what will be built on it? The answer doesn't depend on what you do. It depends on who you choose to be. And for that, the Atlantean priests didn't use affirmations. They used something far more powerful: identity training. Now we come to one of the core secrets of activation. We go far beyond simple positive thinking and enter the science of embodiment. Your nervous system, the complex network that runs your body, cannot tell the difference between a real experience and one vividly lived in your imagination. That's why your heart races when you remember a scare, even years later. When you recall a stressful event, your body reacts chemically as if it's happening now, releasing cortisol and adrenaline. Thoth's identity coherence training used this principle proactively. He taught initiates to deliberately embody the identity of the person who already has what they desire, generating the chemistry of fulfillment before it even happens. This goes far beyond the concept of visualization. It's the direct application of the Hermetic law: the all is mind, the universe is mental. By holding a clear and consistent identity in your mind, with all the feelings and sensations associated with it, the all, which is the universe, must, by its very nature, manifest that identity into the physical plane. The universe has no choice. It's not about fake it till you make it, a strategy that still operates from belief in lack. It's about be it to become it. You're not trying to convince the universe that you're worthy. You are becoming, on a cellular and energetic level, the person that the universe has no option but to reflect in your external reality. It's a shift in cause, not effect. Thoth instructed, "Become that which you seek, and you will find it waiting for you." That means, instead of waking up and thinking, "I hope I get that job," you wake up and ask yourself, how would the person who already has that job feel right now? How would they walk? How would they make decisions today? You then begin to act, feel, and think from that identity. This practice of living from the end, not toward it, forces the creation of new neural pathways in your brain. You are literally recoding yourself on a neurological level, teaching your brain to operate from a new master program. It's like installing a new operating system that runs the reality of abundance, no longer the reality of lack. With this recoding, your body begins producing the chemistry that matches this new identity: serotonin, dopamine, endorphins. Your electromagnetic field, generated primarily by the heart, shifts its vibrational signature. You stop transmitting the frequency of nin and start transmitting the frequency of having and certainty. It is an internal shift so profound that the external reality is forced to reorganize. This is a daily training, not a one-time ritual. It's a new way of living. It is the discipline of, in every moment, consciously choosing to operate from your future identity instead of automatically reacting from your past programming. It's an act of constant vigilance over your thoughts, feelings, and actions, aligning everything with who you've decided to become. It is the discipline of refusing to give energy to the version of yourself you no longer want to be. By doing this, the old identity, deprived of your attention and energy, begins to die of starvation. Meanwhile, the new identity, nourished by your focus and feeling, grows stronger each day, until it becomes your dominant and automatic reality. By consistently embodying this new identity, you send a powerful shockwave through time. That wave begins to pull your highest timeline toward your present, creating a phenomenon you're likely already sensing in subtle ways. Timeline synchronization. Timeline synchronization, the meeting of two realities. Here we explain the increase in synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. This is the phenomenon of phase locking, or synchronization. Imagine two pendulums swinging out of sync. If you connect them, even lightly, they will eventually begin to swing in perfect harmony. Your current reality and your desired reality are those two pendulums. Your practice of embodying the new identity is the connection that forces them into sync. The two timelines, current and desired, are beginning to vibrate at the same frequency, merging into a single experience. The Hermetic principle of rhythm teaches that everything flows out and in. By maintaining your new identity, you are learning to neutralize the negative outflow of your old programming and stay at the peak of the positive inflow of your new reality. You stop being thrown around by the rhythm of chance and become the conductor of your own rhythm. Your future self is no longer in some distant future. It is approaching, overlapping with your present self. Thoth refers to this as walking between the angles of time, where an initiate learns to navigate timelines not linearly, but by jumping into the frequency of the timeline they wish to experience. The synchronicities are markers on the path, signs that you're headed in the right direction, the universe winking at you, confirming that the fusion is underway. The signs you see are not imagination. They are physical proof that the merging is happening. A song plays with the exact answer you needed, a chance meeting with someone who holds the key to your next step. A book that falls open to the exact page. This isn't luck. It's your higher consciousness, now in clearer communication with the unified field, orchestrating events to guide you. Reality is becoming more pliable, more responsive. You begin to feel a sense of inevitability. Anxiety fades and is replaced by calm expectation. You know it's coming. You don't know how or when, but the inner certainty is unshakable. This is the feeling of near-complete synchronization. The veil between the world of spirit and the world of matter is becoming extremely thin. You are living in the magical space where thought and manifestation are nearly instantly connected. The fusion is almost complete. The portal is becoming a single door, but to cross through it, you need the final key, the most closely guarded secret of Thoth, a power that allows you not only to manifest, but to become the very power of manifestation itself. The time has come for the Atlantean emergence. The emergence is when the new reality becomes the norm. It is no longer something you practice, it is something you are. In alchemy, this is the final stage, the rubedo, the reddening, which symbolizes the attainment of the philosopher's stone and the birth of the divine human, the being who has fully transmuted their lower nature. The activation of Thoth, which you understood in Part 7 as the mastery over chaos, now becomes your lived and breathed nature in every moment. The new reality emerges from within you. Abilities you didn't know you had come to the surface. Your intuition becomes a clear and reliable guide. The right people appear effortlessly. Opportunities are no longer hunted. They find you. This happens not because you became lucky, but because you have become such a powerful center of energetic coherence that the universe naturally organizes events and people around you to match your internal harmony. The final activation is the realization that Thoth, the scribe of the gods, is not an external entity but an archetype within you. He represents your innate capacity to rewrite the script of your own reality. Activation is the awareness that you are the scribe. You hold the pen, your consciousness is the ink, and the quantum field is the blank papyrus, waiting to receive your new instructions, your new story. The goal of the journey was never to reach a destination, but to awaken to the truth that you are the creative power itself, an individualized spark of the all with the same capacity to create worlds. You stop asking the universe and begin to command your reality from a place of love, wisdom, and aligned power. You are no longer an effect of reality. You become the primary cause of your experience. The journey doesn't end here, it begins. You have received the keys, you've passed through the portals. Now Thoth, the scribe, hands the pen to you. You no longer need to follow the script you were given. You can tear it up and begin writing a new one worthy of your soul's magnificence. The responsibility is immense, but the freedom is absolute. You are in command. Declare your sovereignty. Anchor your activation in the comments with the words that seal this pact. I am the flame of Atlantis, I remember, and from today on, do not walk as one who seeks, waiting for the world to give you permission. Walk as one who writes their own reality, knowing that every step you take is an act of creation. If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you recognized this truth. So I want you to leave in the comments, I awaken to the Atlantean activation. This is more than a sentence, it's an energetic seal, a way to anchor your journey and show that you are part of this calling. And if you want to support the channel more directly, there is a link in the first pinned comment where you can contribute so we can spread more content like this. Any help you can give is very important to me and to the growth of the channel. But know this, the very fact that you made it to the end of this video already helps immensely. You can also share it with someone who needs to hear this message. That makes all the difference. Now don't leave yet. I've prepared a special video made exactly for the next step in your journey. Click the video that's appearing on the screen now and let's meet there.